The Silver Dragon of the Red Center. Lachlan climbed into the high cab of his mighty road train, a vehicle he affectionately called the Silver Dragon. The engine roared to life with a deep, rhythmic thrum that vibrated through the red earth of the yard. Beside him, Banjo the Kelpie hopped onto the passenger seat, his tail thumping against the upholstery in excitement. Today, they were carrying vital supplies across the vast, sun-drenched heart of Australia. Outside, the road train was a marvel of engineering. It wasn't just a truck, it was a line of 3 massive trailers stretching out behind the prime mover like a steel caravan. Lachlan hopped down for one final check, walking the length of the vehicle. He kicked the massive, dusty tires and checked the heavy iron couplings that held the whole train together. As they left the town behind, the asphalt turned into a shimmering ribbon that sliced through the endless orange desert. The heat began to rise, creating a dancing haze on the horizon. There were no trees for miles, only low-lying scrub and the infinite blue of the outback sky. Banjo watched the landscape go by, his ears flapping in the steady breeze from the vents. Suddenly, a flash of movement caught Banjo's eye. A mob of kangaroos was pacing the truck, bounding effortlessly over the spinifex grass. Lachlan eased off the accelerator, watching the powerful creatures with practiced respect. One large buck hopped remarkably close to the cab, its muscular legs propelling it forward in great rhythmic leaps that matched the speed of the Silver Dragon. By late afternoon, they arrived at a lonely roadhouse, a small island of shade in the vast wilderness. Micah, the resident mechanic, walked out to meet them, wiping her grease-stained hands on a rag. She had been expecting them with a fresh crate of engine coolant and a friendly word. "He's running a bit hot today, isn't he, lackey?" she called out over the idling engine. While Lachlan stretched his legs, Micah got to work. She crawled beneath the massive chassis to inspect the air lines that controlled the brakes for all 3 trailers. Banjo, never one to be left out of the action, crawled underneath the shade of the bull bar to keep Micah company, watching her every move with a tilted head and a wagging tail. As the sun began to set, the desert transformed into a palette of deep purples and fiery crimsons. Lachlan climbed back into the cab and switched on the powerful spotlights. The Silver Dragon now lived up to its name, its chrome accents catching the fading light. Banjo, exhausted from the day's excitement, curled up on a soft blanket, his chin resting on his paws. The night drive was a world of its own. The road train felt even larger in the dark, a self-contained universe of humming gears and bright beams cutting through the obsidian night. Lachlan navigated a narrow concrete bridge, feeling every ton of the cargo behind him. It required a steady hand and a calm mind to keep the long train perfectly centered on the path. Hours later, the distant twinkling lights of the northern port appeared on the horizon. The smell of salt air replaced the scent of dry dust. Lachlan let out a long breath of relief. They had crossed the heart of the continent, delivering the goods that kept the remote stations and coastal towns alive. Banjo woke up, sensing the change in the air, and let out a soft, celebratory woof. The journey ended at the docks, as the first light of dawn turned the ocean gold. The Silver Dragon hissed as the air brakes finally locked into place. Lachlan hopped down and patting the side of the cab, then reached in to lift Banjo to the ground. Together, they looked back at the long line of trailers behind them, another successful trek across the wild, beautiful Australian road.